Welcome back. They gained early exposure as a boy group who were more concerned with performing songs of established acts like Boyz II Men. But in 1999 found favor in the local mainstream as themselves. This after not only creating their own style, but also material to match. And before long, T.O.K moved from being copycat to the standard bearer for a new style in Jamaican dancehall. The genre's first international quartet. The group now celebrates its 15th anniversary with some of the most coveted accolades in Jamaica's music under their belt, and is right now, right here on our stage. Gentlemen, welcome.
Yo, what's up?
Blessed.
Big up.
Respect.
All right, sir. Okay, so let us all, let me first of all ask, you've always shared leadership in the group. Is that still the case?
Yeah, man, we kind of keep it diplomatic, you know what I mean, and democratic. So what we do is vote on any decision we have to make. I work out best that way.
So still so?
Yeah.
Nobody has assumed the leadership and said, let's see you guys will follow. All right, you were on the verge, reportedly on the verge of a breakup some time ago.
Yeah.
Is that so?
I think that is stemming from when I said I stopped recording with T.O.K.
Yes.
What happened is that I never meant that I was leaving the group. I never meant that the group was breaking up. But we were having issues in the studio where it was more conflict than any form of progress happening in the studio.
Creative conflict?
Yeah. Okay. So we would go there to write and absolutely nothing would get done. And I kind of felt it. I kind of took it personal at the time. I didn't understand why it was as if, things that were coming from my end just weren't being received at all.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, if my drive is becoming a problem, then maybe I should remove myself from that equation. So I was going into the studio to record my verses and stuff.
So you volunteered a pull out?
Yeah, man, yeah, because it made sense to me. That's the only way we could get things done quickly. Because sometimes the decision-making process within a group, especially when everybody not seeing eye to eye, is ridiculous.
Okay.
That would take 2 weeks to decide on something that really should take 2 minutes.
So what was the result?
Well, them kind of lock us up in a room in Germany for about 2 weeks.
Them who? Who locked you up?
Between tour manager and management at the time locked us up in Germany. We had to. We were, instead of doing a normal hotel and everybody have separate rooms thing, they put us in one apartment for 2 weeks out of the tour, and we just had to figure it out.
And you did?
Well, to a point.
But you're still here.
Yeah, exactly.
You're still here as T.O.K. And what's the takeaway from that? Did it strengthen? Has it strengthened the group?
Well, for me, I observed more than ever before that the fans wouldn't have it any other way. Like, I was kind of indifferent because I believe in individual comfort within any unit as well as the collective drive.
Okay.
So I understood where Craig was coming from, and I kind of felt like, yo, wherever the just throw the dice and wherever they fall. But the fans were just like, yo,
we won't have it.
No, I mean, even artists who are fans that I never even know that are literal fans, like text me up and say, yo, I'm not running for your thing, but when I can't break up and have a legacy for uphold. And that kind of reinforced to me at least that, yeah, we have a responsibility to keep this thing going.
Okay. Have you done solo jobs, solo projects?
Yeah, well, one of the things with the group is that we give each person space to be themselves. You understand? Because we don't want to suffocate each member under the umbrella of the group.
Okay.
Because sometimes you're in a group and you want to try stuff, you want to do things, but you don't have, the group just won't allow that. And I think that was one of the things that mash up a lot of group in the past.
Yes.
So we just said to ourselves, so yo, look, if you want to do a song or you feel like doing something which is not necessarily the goal of the group right now or the priority of the group, but you really need to do it, we allow each member to get that chance to do that. So.
And these projects, these solo projects, aren't just in music. are they?
No.
It's definitely venturing into other aspects. I mean, not just necessarily entertainment. Basically took up law. You know what I mean? Basically and Craig undertook the Blue Mountain Music Festival. I eventually want to dabble into animation. You know what I mean? We all have our own passions and we all have our own, I guess, desires that we want to, or goals that we want to accomplish. So it's just hard when you're actually in a group and you kind of navigate going in 4 different directions and kind of want to do all at the same time. But you know, somehow, some way we manage to work it out.
All right, so let's get it for the viewers now. Some of those non-musical individual projects or ventures or careers that are being looked at. Law.
Yeah, I'm studying law. I also assist with my family business, which is Spatial Innovision, which is mapping satellite imagery and surveying for the entire English-speaking Caribbean. Along with that, I have a company called Listen Me Caribbean, which we go about creating content, but in innovative ways, so like apps, e-books, and of course I have this thing called Listen Me News. That once a week I summarize our local, international entertainment news, put it in a music format, and put it online. And you know, it's really good. It's innovative. I like to try things that are different. And even with the lawyers, was because every interview people say, yo, if you wasn't doing music, what would you be doing? And I always say law, and I'm like, yo, so why people make it seem like once you're doing one thing in your life, you can't do anything else? Okay. So I do law.
So you took it up, and how far are you now with the studies?
I'm on my 2nd year of law right now. I have 2 more years to go, and then after that, you know, all the artists them can come lick me for the contract.
Oh yeah, you'd be a good man
for a small fee.
No, but I mean, because I've been through some bad situations.
So you're definitely going at entertainment law.
Yeah, and intellectual property. Yeah,
oh,
definitely.
Perfect. Sir, what's your project?
Most of my efforts, necessarily, it wouldn't be where music, like singing is concerned directly, but you know, I'm more into like production and managing acts when I can. At first, I don't really do that because I realize that for them new artists and nowadays, it's like them things are from them hear them song play one time on the radio, them I just start with money, and it's like a illusion. You understand? So
you're helping with education.
Yes, I'm trying to basically teach them, say, yo, it's not what they think, but at the same time, I just feel like a lot of these new acts coming up, they're not educated enough to know that where music is concerned is something that you build sometime. You build into something great. They just expect to be great. You understand? So I'm hoping that one day, you know, I can actually, not necessarily have a school, you know, because I don't have time for that, but actually impart some of that knowledge.
Mentor.
You know, be like a mentor.
You can help with the change that is much needed in the space, Alex.
Yeah. For me, I have always, actually for a lot of people who don't know, I started out in music by just impersonating. I've always, ever since growing up, I've always impersonated like my teachers, stuff I saw on TV, and that is actually how I stumbled into music. So I kind of want to show that side of my talent and personality where I have always dreamed to like maybe a Disney or a Pixar where I could do like how Eddie Murphy had 5 different voices in that one scene in The Nutty Professor, or you know, like just being able to showcase that talent where I can do like a production, whether it be animation, that kind of stuff, and showcase a whole entire story, episode after episode, where you're doing 5 different personalities in that same episode and that kind of stuff. That is my thing.
Great.
Yeah. Well, I'm co-promoter for Blue Mountain Music Festival as well. Apart from that, I have a record label as well called Gap Jam Jamaica. So that is so I dabble in production. I have one young artist under my wing at this point, a young fella called Kenny Smith. That's my first, you know, person that I'm bringing to Jamaica and by extension the world. I also started the Guardian Angel Foundation, which is T.O.K's charity for hypertension, well, which attacks hypertension.
So you're managing that?
Yes, I manage that. So what it is I'm trying to impart knowledge that I gained by my personal combat with that disease. So I'm trying to educate as many people as possible so that eventually we can actually rid the country of it, which is a tall order, but one by one we can make things happen.
All right, so could we talk a little bit more now about T.O.K? What is your single most, what would you say is your single biggest achievement as T.O.K?
Wow.
15 years.
Just to think, you know, each of those questions you may ask is probably going to have like an individual
it's a cliche
answer.
One, but
yeah. Single most greatest achievement. Wow.
I mean, I don't know if it's an achievement for me, but definitely that trip to Africa, the first trip to Africa, was monumental for me. I mean,
yeah, on a personal level.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Because I mean, I did want to go back home, but Alex pushed for say, yo, safari, I want to see the animal them. And when I go on the safari and see the animal, Virgin, it's a giraffe. People people talk about giraffe that way up in the sky, man. When you see that in real life, or even when we go Israel and you go Jerusalem and see what we've been learning about in church as youth, but this is a real place and you put it in that context. You know, the journey of an artist to carry some places where you can never forget, you know.
But the act T.O.K, isn't there something, your European eruption?
For me, Japan. I guess without a doubt it would have to be Japan. Japan is the territory that has shown T.O.K so much love from beginning. You know what I mean? The fact that we have had 2 albums over there go platinum and actually touring extensively in Japan, from the coldest regions of Japan to the Tokyo, the capital itself, and
ringtones.
Number 1 ringtone in the country, also in Jay-Z and Britney Spears and stuff like that.
That must have been
crazy.
Because we saw in Europe and we saw girls screaming like when Boys to Men.
But it's so funny to mention even Europe. I mean, sometimes we're even performing in Europe at one time where I think we're in Italy and girls are like taking off their panties and throwing on stage. I want to be singing and dodging a panty. Dodge a song here and there. It's a different thing.
When Jamaican artists say these things, we don't believe. We don't believe them.
That's the thing.
But we saw you in 2006.
Right,
in Europe,
yeah,
in
for
Germany
sure.
in particular.
Yeah, for sure.
And we couldn't even, we had to ask permission to come close to you guys.
That's the thing. The funny thing about us is that we're not the kind of artists to come back and say, yo, done the show, yeah, I'm the biggest thing this place, and blah, 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 I'm mashed on this and that. Because sometimes when, as you know, sometimes when a lot of artists speak, they talk a lot of hot air. You know what I mean? It's like you claim this and you have all this and all that, but when you really break it down, what have you really done? And the thing about us is that we always try to ensure that we make the most of what we do in terms of the work itself, not actually talking about it, but being about it. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. And I guess that's probably kind of like a thing with us, not really trying to brag about it, but just to be about it. You know what I mean?
Well, the work cannot be undone. What is achieved cannot be undone, and we'll always be digging in and researching. And I mean, even when I was writing the prelude for this, it dawned on me that you guys have done from the very onset in '99 what nobody had done before. This dancehall quartet, and you were. I mean, we took it for granted, but you became the standard bearer for many others, for others who wanted venturing into dancehall. Dancehall never had that before.
A space for a group, kind of.
Yeah, when we just started out, you know, somebody made comment, a promoter said, yo, you see before T.O.K, no promoter never want to pay for more than 3 people to even go.
For dancehall, that.
And you know, make groups all in a first class now. Raise the bar and keep the bar up there.
Okay, so in terms of music now, what's happening musically now for the group right this minute?
Well, we actually have a new EP out called Taking Over, which right now it's more of, since our depart from VP, you know, we can now spread our wings as a unit now. Basically, just experiment with different genres of music, but at the same time still having that undertone of dancehall in it as well. So we basically have some new stuff which has a little bit of the EDM, which has Zouk, which just
so those are out now?
Yeah,
it's actually EP out right now.
Right now. So fans can check that out.
Taking over.
All right, and Taking Over. Speaking of Taking Over, your reality piece,
everything kind of
series. Yes. How was it? Sum it up for us. Success or not so successful?
Success, without a doubt, success.
Yeah, success.
First of its kind, I think that we've actually made a real strong step in doing something that a lot of artists kind of iffy about actually doing. Putting your life out there for the public to see. We were always seeing whether it be T.I. or Kim Kardashian or all these other different foreign people doing that kind of stuff, and actually to see a local actor, you know what I mean, doing something like this, people like, you know, look a bit iffy and say, you know,
especially
apprehensive,
with conflicts.
Yeah, but that's what makes it good. That make it good because, you know, people will say that for the 15 years it wasn't easy, you know, because I think a lot of people just feel like, yo, once you're in a group, things just happen. Songs just come out, this just happen, but this now just show people say, yo, it's not easy for actually being in a group for 15 years. True, you understand? Some solo acts can ever make it past 5.
So Craig, what's in the what's in this 15th anniversary celebration?
Well, I mean, it is T.O.K and friends. So, I mean, what we're doing is we're inviting a lot of people who were instrumental in our career from the beginning to this point now to come out and party with us. So it's not so much of a performance-based thing, but it's a party thing. But performances will happen in the middle of the party.
Oh.
So it's like the performances are interspersed throughout the party.
No stress. Just come
no
to
stress, just a relaxed
and this is happening
vibe.
at the
famous nightclub on the
in
18th.
Portmore. So just come out and party with T.O.K.
And we're celebrating, go straight back to the end of the year. We want to carry it, just like the reality show that will be syndicated at the end of the season. Also this celebration, we want to carry it to other islands and other territories because we're a global brand.
Okay.
So, you know, between now and the end of the year is like for the rest of the quarter, the last quarter of this year, we're celebrating the 15 years.
Oh, great.
And we mark it from Eagles Cry, our first number one. Big up Dave Kelly, big up Baby Sham, Bounty Killer, the whole of that crew. Yeah, big up Shams, because Shams, we couldn't even get to voice with Dave Kelly. So it's a long journey and it's been very, very, you know, topsy-turvy, a lot of challenges and triumphs. So
but you guys are heading, walking the walk of legends. And not just because of your music, but also what you're doing. You're setting standards and examples of how we can survive.
Yeah.
How people can survive in how you can set up, you can use the tools of life to survive outside of your comfort zone, outside of what you do best, which, well, we assume it's music, but you guys are doing other things. You're showing that success can also be achieved in other areas of life, in other careers, and that is heartening. And I hope others in music can look at what you guys are doing. Look at this model. And probably apply it to themselves.
Yeah, we might even start model too, you know. I just say model now, you know.
Okay. So the thing is, though, things start with dreams, you know, and those are the blueprints, you know. And really and truly, once you put your shoulder to the wheel behind a dream, you will make these things come true, you know. And we want to show as many people as possible that, you understand? Use the dreams as blueprints, and you can use that for construct your reality.
I just want to big you up, you know, because you support the thing throughout the years, you know, from the first interview with that controversial topic.
Way back when.
You know, so give thanks, man.
We're
always on stage.
All right, well, gentlemen, we couldn't resist it because I mean, T.O.K was just the hottest thing around. And we couldn't resist the story. All right, there you have them right here on stage. T.O.K celebrating 15 years in the music, and that is a milestone achievement that many should look to. And they'll be celebrating in live and living color in the flesh next week at the famous nightclub in Portmore. You should check that out. Winford Williams, on behalf of all of us, thanking you for joining us. Do join us again next week for more, right here on stage.
Watch y'all a bubble, watch y'all a rock out and get in a trouble. Select off the big tune, them a juggle. Y'all a climb up, camp and speaker. Head top, them a spin them feet, ya. Me, Jalazer, where you get that beat, ya. Turn up the bass and the tweeter.
Suicide bomber, we drop hits like killer drop hammer. Love said them bad, but T.O.K. bad like